Good morning. We've kind of a bit of everything going on today. Well, this week really in general. We went garden centre shopping yesterday. 3 different garden centres, and I'm going to show you what I bought. Some quite good stuff, I think. Let's find... I'm going to try and get this greenhouse put up today as well. And I'm going to get some plant pots together and see if I can get some stuff potted on. This is quite a big tree. Don't know if you can actually see. It says apple teeny. It says it's an apple. Now Googled, it says you can't eat it. So it's quite a tall tree. I do believe the apples are miniature, but it says they're eatable. Let's see if we can show it you. I'd say, well, I mean, it's up to my shoulders. I'm 5'6"-ish. So that was, oh, dropped an apple. £13.50. I call this bluegrass. That was half price. Some French lavender. That was £1. This is a brown turkey fig. Was £3.50. Don't know if you can actually see that. Couple of feet tall. Before I head off up to the allotment, I'm going to pot some of this on. So, grape, dessert grape, and can also be used for wine. Also quite tall. I'll show you all these in a second. Large clematis, £3. Unsure of the variety. Some more rosemary, £1.05. Big plants. So, 2 of those. And I think it's the lavender hidcot. 4 of those, 6 of those for £4.50. So then, Kiwi Jenny, £2. And then wineberry. This can be a bit tart. They were £2.40, but because it wouldn't scan, she did it for £2. Again, needs potting on. And then the other one is a blackberry. It says thornless, evergreen and organic. Don't see the variety. Oregon maybe. Again, £2 because this wouldn't scan. Should be £2.40 reduced, but £2 because it wouldn't scan. Then there's 2 packets of these at 80p. Don't know what they are, but it's for 80p worth of there. Look a bit like Primula, don't they? So it gives you a better idea how big the plants are, I think. So I'm quite chuffed with those because the grape we're going to put on, and the kiwi. Oh, I got some of that sphagnum moss for £2 as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pot all them on And the grape and the kiwi are going to be potted on, but they're going to live in the greenhouse at home when we've built it, just for this winter. And hopefully that's going to get built this week. Still working out the allotment at a couple of beds a time. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to film some of what I've been doing. Rather than film me doing it, I'm just going to film and show you what I've been doing. It was a good day. 3 different garden centres. Right, so that's the grape, the fig and the apple tree. There. And then over here is all the other stuff we're overwintering. Now, I don't do very good as a rule with lavender, but the lavender that I kept in the greenhouse last year for up at the allotment has survived. So I'm going to put it all in the greenhouse when it's built. For £1 you couldn't have the rosemaries, I don't think. And yeah, that'll be a good start for next year. The kiwi I just thought I'd have a go with. It's the self-fertile variety, it's Jenny. So self-fertile and ornamental leaves. And the wineberry, just like the sound of it, to be honest. Japanese Ouijan something. All organic, so let's give them a bash into it. There we go. That'll be a good start for next year. Quite sure where these, well, we know that they're part of the window, but so they've got to be added yet, and we're going to give it a good clean. Today is the 22nd of October, and yesterday we put up the greenhouse. Sorry, I'm going to have to move because of the sun. So today I'm going to wash it and finish, I hope, the roof bars. That's the plan. This is the only dry day we've got for the next week. We haven't had the frost yet. This is how they start off. And I know some might say, why are you going to all that trouble? But when you're putting the glass back in, it makes a lot of difference. And these ones hadn't gone up yet, so I figured clean them up before we put them in. What I bought from 10 mil. Game changer for greenhouses, this is. Now some might say there's another thing better for putting the bolts on the back, but this for me, bearing in mind I'm a woman, 10 mil, tightens them up, easy. Frame was put up in about 2.5 hours. All we left was the roof bars to put in, and that was because the side we left was the window opening, and I needed to refer back to the video. So we filmed ourselves when we were taking it down, and I cable tied each section. So one section had black cable ties on, the other section had white cable ties on, one section had black and white cable ties on, etc. So that we knew when it came to putting it back up, front was going there, back was going there, etc, etc. We left some things attached where we could to make it easier for us. White on the front, so one of each. Is the camera running? Yeah, black and white on the front. I think if you put all the preparation in, which taking it down took us hours, but I think if you put all the preparation in, it went back up in a couple of hours quite easily. We will not anchor it down, as in drill through into the slabs, until Saturday. We've got rain all week. So what disinfectant, if you like, I've left on the greenhouse. I have hosed it all down, but there might be a little bit that's still left on there, residue. That'll get washed off in the rain, and it'll clean it up a bit more. Then we'll anchor it down on Saturday and start putting the door and the window and all the glass back in. And I've got new clips for the glass as well. The sealant, as in the little black rubber seal where the glass sits on, I'm not going to replace. And I could, but you know what, I feel like it's all right. It's going back on the bars in most places, and there's no gaps. I think it's cost me about 25 quid, and that includes the tool to put the bolts on with. Because what we were finding is that the guy that we got the greenhouse from, his son-in-law, he gave us his drill with the 10 mil bit on, but we were graveling them. It was just too fast. So this screw one that I've bought off Amazon, perfect. Put the old greenhouse up with it. It's been easy to get the bolts off. The guy was silicone mad, so there was silicone everywhere. So we've got as much of that off as we can, old silicone. And it's now pretty much, we'll need the screws to put in to hold the door in place. And we need to clean all the glass before we rebuild it. But I'm thrilled with it. It will look like a new greenhouse, I think, when we're finished. Do a proper job, really, and it'll last. I'm going to cut these off. These are the cable tidies that I use to, but as you can see, it's clean. Missed a little bit under there, look. So the tips I can give you, bearing in mind this is the first greenhouse I've ever fully dismantled and put back up, is remove all that. So all the old nuts and bolts and the glass clips, remove them and replace them with new. Remove as much silicone, old silicone as you can, get it off.